How's it going, everybody? Mr. Slush here. I wanted to bring you out and just show you how I go about chipping up some of my plants. In this case, I'm going to be chipping up the Mexican sunflower, Tithonia Diversifolia, and I am going to be cutting them all down today. I've got about 7 or 8 of these, and I'm going to be chipping them up in my chipper shredder. I really want to make use of some of this mulch inside of the greenhouse, and there's some other areas that I would like to add just a little bit of fertility, a little bit of mulch before we start getting some really cold nights coming down. And so instead of going after the Moringa, which is in the process of making some drumsticks, I wanted to try to hold out as long as possible for the Moringa. And even though the Mexican sunflower has some beautiful flowers that are attracting some late season butterflies and other insects, I figured that I could put these to better use going through the chipper shredder and putting into some of my potted plants inside of the greenhouse and other areas. So I wanted to bring you along for that and show you exactly how I go about doing it. So hang tight. I'm going to go ahead and get some branches cut, and I'll bring them over to the chipper. Okay, so I relented. I'm a sucker for late season butterflies and insects. So I've decided to just go ahead and leave a stalk with open flowers and multiple blooms upcoming on each plant. So I decided to allow the butterflies to have a source of nectar, and so there we go. And this is the haul that I received. Quite a few branches, a nice little pile here. And so I'll be chipping these guys up. This is my chipper here. It's a Power Horse 4-inch chipper shredder, and it does a really good job, especially on these softwoods. This is more or less a softwood, same thing with Moringa, and so it really does a good job with these. So I will go ahead and get you put onto the tripod, put me in a little bit of fast forward motion here, get all this chipped up, and I'll show you the end product. And this is my haul right here. Beautiful, beautiful green gold. You can't get much better than this. The only mulch that I would say would surpass the Mexican sunflower is that of Moringa. But in either case, this is mulch that money just can't buy. It's so nutritious, it's so good that unless you have a chipper shredder and unless you are growing dynamic accumulators and very, very nutritious greens, this is just something that cannot be obtained. You can see, if you can see the yellow flecks in there from the flowers. So it has flower, it has stem, it has leaf, and it's just beautiful stuff. And the Moringa is just as beautiful, if not a little bit more beautiful than this. But this is going to be a slow release. It's going to feed all my potted plants in my nursery, feed everything that I give it to, and it'll just break down and turn into some beautiful stuff. So for about, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes worth of work, I got just about 3 bags of this beautiful mulch that will last me quite a while. So in addition to this, I'll probably get 5 or 6 bags of the Moringa, and that'll last me all next year for my potted plant mulch. And if anything I just want to give a nice little treat to, I'll give it to as well. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and add some of this into the potted plants in the greenhouse, and I'll show you what it looks like once it's done. Alright, well, here is the finished product. I have some of that Mexican sunflower in each and every single pot. And if you watched a video a few back, I had mentioned that I had mixed in some compost and some biochar, and I had the compost biochar mix in the top of every pot, and now I have just gone over that mix with some of this Mexican sunflower. So the biochar will be right at the top, and it will just allow the Mexican sunflower to break down right on top of it. And so every time I water anything in this greenhouse, it's going to be getting a nice douse of the really nutritious mulch and the biochar sitting right at the top. So you can't ask for much better than that. Everything is just going to be fed slow release with the Mexican sunflower, the biochar, all the worms. Every pot's just filled with worms. So I have worm castings, and so everything is nice and happy. So that is how I mulch. That is how I add extra fertility into my potted plants and those various in-ground plants and trees that I just want to give a nice treat to. So I hope this day finds you well. Thank you so much for stopping by today. May the Lord bless you in all that you do, and take care. Be safe.